There's something about Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom that has always felt deeply personal. Somewhere in the chaotic experience of trying to figure out timelines and runes and history, I think that we've missed something crucial. Both games explore heavy themes of forgetting and remembering. It's baked into the environment and the story very deeply. We see it in the Forgotten Temple and the Forgotten Foundation. Within the assets, Tanagar Canyon is labeled as Oblivion Valley. Oblivion, by definition, means being unaware or unconscious of what is happening. Then we see the parallel of remembering. We see it in Link regaining his own memories over the course of Breath of the Wild, and then eventually with Zelda manifesting her power in the Ash Swamp. The real story of both games is about overcoming despair and tragedy and not giving up in spite of overwhelming odds. These themes resonate with me. When you look around at Hyrule, it's clearly a ruined kingdom. If I were Zelda, I'd have to ask myself if it's worth it to rebuild again. The species of the world have largely been wiped out. Yet, Zelda and Link press forward. I've felt the same about my own life, many times. It would be easy to give in and ask if there's any point in trying. In so many ways, I feel like a ruined kingdom, giving way to a natural beauty that can only come from nature, reclaiming the man-made facades that represent all that I've tried to be. I've been the victim of unspeakable evil time and time again in my life. When you're faced with desolation and despair, you start to lose yourself. With each act of violence, your sense of self gets replaced with whoever you were while overcoming the last tragedy. Hyrule has lost its identity too. It seems barely aware of the deities that were much more prominent in the culture. Even the Master Sword has fallen into a state of decay. The tragedy of the kingdom in the era of the wilds is that though the hero and the princess turned back evil once more, they didn't really conquer the ancient evil before it ruined them. Looking at Hyrule, it doesn't resemble a landscape where the kingdom won. There is a bittersweet beauty in the fact that the collective kingdom didn't give up. On one hand, the kingdom is ruined, but seeing it that way is only half the story. The other half is that they gave their best, even when it wasn't enough. It is worth asking, what is defeat? Seeing that the history of the kingdom has largely been forgotten and that Ganon did succeed in destroying what I'd estimate to be about 70 to 90% of all life and structures, it feels like evil won. Maybe, just maybe, it's not a defeat for the princess and the hero. Maybe the victory lies in the story of trying. Trying against all odds when you have absolutely no reason to do so. Repelling evil with all one's might, even if it isn't enough. And how it says to that evil, it's not over, until every life is lost and every brick is reduced to rubble. All the same, what is hope? Hope is not continuing on when the odds are in your favor. Hope is continuing on when you have no reason to try and no evidence to support that the future will be brighter than the past. Hope is being half a heart away from defeat and trying anyway. A little hope goes a long way eventually. It starts with trying. Simply existing is a form of trying. Then you continue on until circumstances push you so far that you're forced to remember who you are and why you fight. You do it until you're brave enough to pick up the sword one more time, while repelling numerous foes with a power so strong that you were unaware that you could manifest such strength. You do it until the reasons to try become clear again. It's the only way for survivors to show evil that all its might wasn't enough to stop us. To show that from the rubble, wildflowers will grow once more. It's showing evil that there are indeed a million reasons to give up, and that we only need to find one reason to keep going. Overcoming evil with half a heart remaining is still a victory. There have been times when I've overcome my own trauma with half a heart, and there have been times when I've overcome trauma with no hearts, resurrected by fairies and medicine, reminding me that I don't need to go it alone. So in the final hours of 2023, I want to say that we made it through. No matter what your best was this year, it was enough. And so are you. If this resonated with you, please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. It is my sincere hope that in 2024, we can all pick up the sword once more.